Hi everyone, today I'm filming another model assumptions video. This will be the third, why did I do two? This will be the third in the series, so if you haven't checked out the others, I'll link them down below. So today's guest is a model called Scarlett. Her agency in London is Select. From her pictures on the screen, you can see that she's absolutely beautiful, and I'm so glad she wanted to be a part of this series, so thank you so much, Scarlett, for being a part of this. I'll leave her Instagram down below so you can check her out, and she's done some amazing work as well, so hopefully you'll enjoy hearing from her point of view as well. So again, I asked for your assumptions on Instagram about models and I got quite a lot, so if you ever want to send me an assumptions, just make sure you're following my Instagram so you can see when I post a little questions box asking for assumptions, or you can just DM me them. I've given Scarlett 3 to answer and I'm going to be answering 3 as well. Again, these are just from our point of views. Other models might not necessarily think the same. The first assumption I've got to answer says it's really demanding and requires a lot of free time. I kind of agree with that. Modelling does require a lot of free time, especially when you're full-time. You're expected to be available typically Monday to Friday, kind of 9 till 6. But if you're not, you can always book out. So I guess it's kind of just like a normal job as well. Like, it's what you sign up for. You know that's what is expected of you when you become a model and you sign. You never really know if you're going to have a free day the next day, or whether you might get a call the night before saying you're working the next day when you thought you actually had that day free. But yeah, anything like a major, like holidays or a celebration or something you might have, you can always book out. And in terms of it being demanding, I think it depends how unaware you kind of go into situations. I kind of know how the industry works a bit more now that I've been doing it for a little bit longer. I kind of know what's expected of me and from models and teams in general. But I guess if you're starting out, you might find it a bit demanding, just because you can be working long hours, you can be expected to travel to all different parts of a city in one day for like castings and running around, especially during fashion week. You might be asked to change your hair for certain clients or certain jobs, but if it will benefit you in your career and it's a really good opportunity, then most models will just go with it and do it. So it depends if you find that demanding. I think it really depends on your situation, how aware you are of the industry, and I think eventually it kind of comes second nature. Like, you don't really think of it like that anymore, but to begin with, I can see how people think it might be quite demanding and takes up a lot of free time.
Backstage, usually everyone's just really friendly because you're all in the same boat. You have to meet a new group of people every day, and no one can really be bothered to be bitchy, I don't think, in my experience anyway. You only meet people for maybe one day, so you can't have time to fall out with them. I don't know why the modelling industry has such a reputation for being bitchy, because I've met really loads of nice people.
The second assumption I've got to answer says models face lots of rejections, and I kind of paired it with a similar assumption that says models get unhappy when they feel they don't have the right look for the jobs they want. On the most part, I think that is true. I know it's true for me. So the first one, yes, we do face a lot of rejections, or the majority of us face a lot of rejections. Even the biggest supermodels you can think of probably face rejections, and it affects them because when you want something so bad and you work so hard for something and you end up, well, I don't know if rejected is the right word, but you end up not getting that job, or if you think you've got a really good chance of getting that job, like you've been put an option for it, you could even get confirmed for it and it gets cancelled, or they choose another model. It can really affect you. Obviously it's only like human to feel upset about that sort of stuff, but as long as you can eventually pick yourself back up and try not to take anything too personally. But there will always be more jobs out there that you'll be seen as the perfect girl or boy for it, so there's always plenty more opportunities. And the second part, I can't obviously answer it on behalf of every model, that we get unhappy when we feel we don't have the right look for jobs. I guess that could be true. Like, say you've dreamed of working for Topshop your entire life, and then you find out as your modelling career is progressing that you don't necessarily have that look for like an e-com type high street brand, then I guess it could be upsetting because it's been your dream to work for them. I think most models might be unhappy for a while, but then they realise that they have potential doing other sorts of jobs, working for other brands, and have a look better suited to that. I don't really know if I answered that one that well. I kind of feel like I just rambled. But I think you get the gist. It helps if you have supportive people around you to reassure you that you'll have plenty more opportunities, then the unhappiness won't last forever.
This really depends on the person. I live with my family in London, so I'm really lucky I get to see them all the time. But a lot of models come from overseas and even just out of cities, so they often rent and sometimes visit their families, but work can be quite hectic, so a lot of them do have to wait a while, but it does just depend on the person, I think.
Okay, and the last assumption I've got to answer says models are encouraged to find passions and talents outside of modelling. Again, I don't know if this is true for all models because we all have different agencies, but my agency, I say they do encourage you to find other passions and hobbies outside of modelling because it is healthy. It will benefit you if your mind is not constantly just focused on modelling and thinking about the next job, because in your career of being a model there will be like quiet periods. There might be periods where you're not working for weeks, months, and it can really get you down. It can start to deteriorate your mental state and how you think of yourself, and you might find yourself really beating yourself up about it. Whereas if you have like hobbies and passions outside of modelling, that can completely distract you from feeling like that and take your mind off things for a while. And also it can be really healthy physically. If your hobby is a sport, I think it is important to have other talents, other passions, other hobbies other than modelling. Dedicating a lot of your time to modelling just shows that you are like serious about it and you're passionate about it, and I don't think that's a bad thing either.
Personally, I've always had really good experiences at work with photographers and things, but we are told if anything happens to call our bookers if we ever made to feel uncomfortable. So I think everyone should always respect each other, but for me personally there's never been an issue.
So thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much to Scarlett for being a part of this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you stick around to see the next model assumptions videos. Subscribe if you haven't already and hit the notifications bell so that you're notified every time I upload. I try and upload every weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It will mean so much to me. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!